Woo! All right, we in this month. Okay. You got your little braids going, Jay. Hold on. I told my boy, I was like, man, he's like, yeah, so we're waiting for Jayuncut. And I'm like, yeah, you gonna see when he comes, man. He gonna be dripped out. And what do I see as soon as I come out the car?
Oh, that's fun.
This nigga holding a whole Louis duffel. I was like, yep, man, what I tell you, brother? Bro, be dripped. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's
That's just the regular for you, or what? Doesn't matter like where you're going.
This shit I just blew money on when I had it.
Yeah, we're gonna definitely talk about that. Like, I definitely the part one that we did, Jay, was for sure one of my favorite podcasts I've did, because I think I really just enjoyed the conversation that we had, and just like, believing in the manifestation thing, and just how we went over just like, some certain things are just inevitable if you just do certain things persistently and consistently,
Right.
and just things just happen to I really love that conversation. Another thing that was interesting to me, but of course we're gonna get into this later as well, was the infamous the first 250K that you blew in a year, which is definitely something that was very, very interesting to hear, like how that could happen as well, which is definitely that definitely was crazy. So I definitely want to definitely dive more into that with the money thing and buying things and wasting your money than investing. I think definitely we should definitely talk a little more on that for sure this episode.
Word.
But without further ado, of course, welcome back to another episode of the Real Me with Rel podcast. Thank you guys for tuning in. Of course, I got my brother Jayuncut with me, and this is not the first podcast that we have done. That being said, make sure you guys go stream the part one that we did a few months ago back. It was definitely a beautiful episode, like I just said earlier into this episode. It was great, so make sure you guys go stream that one before you guys watch the rest of this one. But yeah, Jayuncut is, of course, a Grammy-nominated producer, got catalogs throughout the roof. I don't know what else to be said. Does it all, man. Literally does it all. And it's definitely an honor to, of course, have you back on the podcast, brother. We're definitely want to get into that situation that I seen, of course, on your Instagram a couple days ago about the whole management thing and mismanaging that. And it's funny because we talked about that, of course, on a part one and stuff like that. So it's gonna be definitely interesting to dive back into that. But of course, before we get more into this episode, make sure you guys are subscribed right now. Of course, make sure you guys go grab yourself some merch. We got affordable merch, guys. Nothing over $40. You guys can grab yourself crew necks, hoodies, sweats, whatever you guys need. Make sure you guys go tap in at The Real Me Clothing. And of course, you guys can always listen to these episodes live on Spotify and Apple Podcasts as well. For those who just love to listen, make sure you guys go get in tune. Speaking of producers and stuff, we just did a fire ass interview with my boy Lo the Great. He's a Los Angeles very own, well-known producer, Lo the Great. We just did a fire interview with him, so make sure you guys go check that out. And of course, the part one that we got with Jay, and along with all the other dope producers that I've had on the channel. But yeah, we are back. We'll start out. I mean, it's a new year, Jay. I mean, the last time I seen you, bro. Do you remember the last time I seen you, Jay? Do you remember?
I mean, yeah, we got into some shit, man.
Man,
it was. We talked about some shit for real, but yeah, it's been a minute.
It's been a minute, bro, for real. But actually, the last time I seen you, Jay, was when I was at the studio and they broke into my car.
Oh yeah.
That's what I was gonna tell you, bro.
Yeah.
I was like, man, I was on my way over here. I was like, man, the last time I seen Jay, I was fucked up. I was bad. Like it just happened, So what I'm referring to right now is a couple months ago back, my car got broke into, and they took all my podcast equipment. Luckily, thank God, I did not have my laptop and I had my camera with me at the time. So those happen to be like the two most expensive things to a podcast, which is the camera and then of course your computer.
Right.
So those, you always gotta look at like it could have been worse. But unfortunately they broke into my car, and that day we were out actually vlogging at Melrose or something like that. So usually when we have this podcast equipment, it's usually with us, of course. But unfortunately that day it was just the one day we didn't use it. It was in my trunk. So yeah, but you know what?
Glad you back, though.
Yeah, no, we back. It didn't stop nothing. We here. We still going strong. We going hard. We still achieving goals, brother. It was just a little bump in the road, but I just remember Jay was there randomly that day, and I know you saw a look on my face, bro. And he's like, it's gonna be all right, bro. You know what I mean? This shit happened to me before.
It's
Like,
happened to me.
yeah. You told me that shit happened to you before. And you said like, just a lesson to be learned, and just keep my head up, man, for sure.
Yeah.
And there's it's kind of not too much you really can say when shit like that happens. You know, I was just like, but bummed out. But you know, that day I was just probably. But you know what? I took just that day. I was emotional, dog. You know, but you know what? I was like, I don't like being sad, bro. I don't the sad music. I don't like that headspace, bro. So I took a day. I was very emotional about it. But next day, actually, you know what? Look on the bright side. I still got this. Let's move forward.
Right.
Let's move forward.
That's how I did it.
You know what I mean? And I think that's definitely important to have that strong mentality. And I'm honest about these things on my podcast because, man, like this whole podcast has been a journey for me. You know, just from going inside, just starting inside my house to, you know, getting sponsor deals to, you know, interviewing people like Jayuncut. You know, it's been a very wild journey. And I go through things, man, where I, you know, didn't have studios or I didn't have my house at the time or whatever the case. Not my car got broken into. Whatever, but the point is, you got to go through those things, man. You learn, you got to love the journey, and it's a you know it's a process for sure. And of course, you know we talked about that in the part one, man. Like Jayuncut is a very successful guy to this day, but there's a lot of work that went behind that, and he wasn't always up like the way he was. He had times where he was just dreaming about to be where he's at right now, and had to keep that faith and had to keep it going, and just know that that stuff is in you, and you just got to keep it pushing, man, for sure. And I definitely wanted to highlight that, brother. And that was honestly one of the most favorite thing that I got from that last conversation that we had, Jay, was just, you know, the persistency and the consistency of doing things. And just, you know, when you do certain things, some things are just inevitable and happening, you know.
Right.
Hard work, you know, I'll beat stuff like that. Consistency outbeats talent, man. You know what I mean? Hard work, it comes behind it for sure. But you know, that being said, okay, like it's a new year, Jay. You know, of course, I follow you on Instagram and stuff like that. You've been busy, man. You've been, you know, tell me what's been going on so far this year. A couple things, of course, that we haven't heard from since the last time I seen you.
Yeah, I'm focused like a lot on. I mean, I don't know if I said this before, but I'm really deep in the artist development stage.
Yes, that is something definitely we broke down for sure.
And I'm really diving deep into breaking artists this year. I got two artists for sure that I'm getting ready to dive into like a campaign / artist development / you know management. So I'm taking more time into like really finding new talent and investing my talents, music, and my circle with them. So I'm working with of course I'm working with major artists as well, but it's those are just kind of just pass some beats too, and then they do their thing. But I'm spending more time on like
building something up from the ground up.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I kind of like one of the things I like to do is not to disclose the artist until I've breaking ground. So I do a lot of behind the scenes recording and just doing more of the consultation when it comes to teaching them the business. Building a catalog of records before I'm like I push them out and say, okay, now it's time to jump out and say I'm here, I've arrived. So I kind of want to just keep them disclosed. Not only that, but there's some of them are dealing with like some brand issues right now, and I just want to be able to push them out when it's ready. You know what I'm saying? But in the meantime, like working on Gunna album, working on Offset album,
nice.
Working Tink, I'm doing hers. Working on Lloyd, he just hit me yesterday. So
Lloyd?
Yeah. So
that's hard.
Yeah, he's getting ready to gear up. So that's just the everyday stuff.
Just the normal life and
that's funny. It ain't even I'm gonna tell you, bro.
It ain't nothing.
Man, you gotta have some balls to be in this thing, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Because this shit will rip you apart, man.
Okay, well, first off, what advice would you give to I want to pick your brain on some things too as well. I think we didn't. I wanted to, I want to get your opinion on. We'll get into this next, but first, I wanted to say, what advice would talking about artist development and building catalogs and stuff like that? What advice would you give to upcoming artists right now that are trying to, of course, make it in this industry? What is the first thing?
I would say
Mhm.
establish as much value as possible. When I say value, like create something that'll garnish it, like attention.
Mm.
So like, because music has kind of strayed away from like talent.
Yeah.
It's it's a sad thing, but
Mm.
it's gone away from more talent. It's gone away from talent and it's going more towards popularity, or
Yeah.
if you can use popularity, or you can say
Clout.
clout,
Yeah.
you can use influence, anything that you can start to build your brand with, like whatever that story is, focus on that. So as a male artist, just whatever your thing is, like, create something that's funny, or create something that's trendy, or create something that's unique that you consistently do to make people to say, oh, he's on to something, or he's doing something. Like, some people, I've seen this one artist, he like produces in a moving truck. Like, he not produces, but he makes his records be in a U-Haul while it's driving. But it's
Interesting
weird.
way, yeah.
But
Yeah.
it creates like views. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I would always say, like, just create. I mean, for women, it's easy. They just got to be sexy, whatever, or
It will
just
get the job done every time.
It always does. But my thing is,
even
like,
if your raps are trash.
But the thing is, like, and I'm not trying to like pollute on the industry. I think you have to find your thing that makes you unique. And I honestly, I hate the word unique too, by the way.
Why?
Because it's cliche,
Mm.
right? So I don't even use the word unique, because everything has been done. I'm sure there's somebody that can find something new. But I'm not
Right.
saying that. Everybody has something. Everybody has done what we've seen over and over. I think what separates the people that are doing the work that you may have seen before is their consistency.
Yeah.
They don't stop. It's consistent grind. We've heard the same voices. I've heard the same cadences. I've seen the same type of women, same type of dudes. I've heard the same flows. There's nothing that I ain't seen or heard before. But to separate you from something that we ain't seen before is to be consistent and latch on to people who have the same mindset as you. Latch on to people who have the same hunger, drive. Latch on to people who are working just as much as you're working. I think you only build, you motivate yourself, and not only that, but I think you build this energy. It's like the energy grows, and then all of a sudden people start attracting to that. Like, oh, you working with that person? Oh, I seen you out with that person.
Yeah.
Oh, I seen you in a video with
100%.
You know what I'm saying? And it just creates like a attractive energy, bro. People just want to see what's going on. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. I just think you just got to be super consistent.
I see you smoking right there. You know you smoking a blunt right there. I know I see you right there. You sitting down and you got a blunt. Let's be real. You didn't think I was going to catch you doing that? Watching my podcast Faded, huh? You didn't think I know you was doing that shit? But nah, for real, if you is smoking, of course, this video is sponsored by Loud Logs, of course, our very proud sponsor, Black Owned Leaves. We're going all the way hard with them. 2024, we got all types of, we're smoking those all year. So we got natural, we got pina colada, we got, that was peach cobbler, pina colada. Clearly I'm smoking one right now. So that just tells you how far it is. But make sure you guys go get yourself some logs, of course. Tell them Rel sent you. Get yourself a pack at loudlogs.com. We're going to pop that up. Make sure you guys follow us. Until then, we'll get back to the episode.
Yeah. But that's what I'm looking. That's what I've been. I'm watching watching artists really like really take their branding to the next level. Hyper promoting.
Mm,
Hyper promoting is like, don't feel stupid, bro. Like, yeah, you just posted this yesterday. Post it again, bro. Like,
yeah.
I've seen there's an artist. Her name is Una. She one thing I respect about her, and she's like a newer artist,
Yeah.
but one thing I respect about her, and she's not like, she doesn't have like all the musical talent,
Yeah.
but she connected with the right people, and the music is good because she connected with the right producers, songwriters, engineers, and she hyper promotes. Every song she drops is a half a million plus on stream.
Wow.
Everything she drops, because she's hyper promoting. She's not afraid to spam you, or she not really spamming you, because she spams her own Instagram, her own TikTok, but people have no choice but to see it.
Yep.
So I just think people who do that, like, it's like you open yourself up to more opportunities, and that's the type of stuff, like, I think it's so vital for independent artists.
Agreed. For
Yeah.
sure. And my the thing I wanted to pick your brain on was, of course, I feel like, I mean, you're not to word this. I would say, so of course, like being in LA,
Yeah.
want to get your opinion because like I said, I'm out here in LA as well, and I interview a lot of artists and producers and stuff. And exactly, I wanted to get your opinion on the rappers that that are coming out of LA right now. I personally like, just kind of piggybacking off what you said. Like, I feel like that music these days is like, I don't know. I feel like it's more like you said, like it's more about like numbers and not really like, is this really good music at the end of the day? And I think I really just want to get your opinion on that because you are out here, but you work from people like all over the world. So I'm not trying to like minimize what you're doing, but I just wanted to get your opinion on that because I feel like I don't really see you work with too many LA based people. I
Yeah.
feel like. And then of course you're, from being from out there in Georgia and stuff like that. I know
Mhm.
there's a big difference between us and ATL and everything like that.
Yeah.
But I wanted to get your opinion on that. I really feel like these days, like, man, songs be like really trash, bro. And they just because it's like a TikTok thing
Yeah.
or what, it really, you know what I mean? So now it's like I think it really messed up the game. And I feel bad for a lot of these artists, bro, because these artists, I've seen it all. Like, for doing this 2 years, I've seen artists like that have had a moment and they'll come on my podcast, right?
Mhm.
Hot. But they start feeling themselves. Like, it's like a fake, like, I don't know, like LA has a way of, I really feel like LA has a way of building you up to break you down. Like, I really genuinely feel like that. Like, I feel like
Mhm.
LA is the top place to do something like that.
Yeah.
And they have this buzz for like a couple more months. They think they're on top of the world, so it's like, I don't know. And then they fall off. You know what I mean? And I just wanted to get your kind of like your thoughts on that. You being a producer and stuff like that, especially in this industry. Because music is just so different now these days.
Yeah.
Everything just kind of be flying now.
You know, I don't have too much knowledge or
Hmm.
expertise on the LA culture when it
Yeah.
comes to music, because I did just get here. But um, yeah, I got to be careful saying, because I ain't trying to like shit on LA.
This dude knows Young Mon. Everybody like yeah, he knows a lot of people.
So
Bro.
I
For
just
real.
I just gotta like,
Yeah.
I just think that um LA music was wasn't popular.
Mm.
It was, I'm gonna say, I'm using the word was, meaning past. Um, it wasn't popular. It was only popular in LA. And
That's the thing.
and
Yeah.
so, like, and this is the reason I'm saying was, because obviously Kendrick just
Yeah.
shifted everything.
Kendrick, yeah, definitely put us on the map for
But
sure.
prior to the Kendrick beef and all that, it LA music it was just good for LA.
LA. Yeah.
You know what's crazy is, and I'm not speaking for everybody, I'm speaking for more of like a majority, but
Yeah.
Nipsey, when he died that day, it was like 4 years ago, 5 years.
Yeah.
When he died that day, I was still living in Atlanta. We didn't even know who he was.
Are you serious?
Like and I say we as a majority, not everybody.
Right, right, right.
We barely knew who he was. Even New York, the East Side, we was like, now, soon as now, mind you, it was news. It was big news, but we had to go and look up
Like
like
start looking more
songs,
into him and stuff
yeah,
like
like
that.
figure out who he was. Why was he so big?
Mm.
So that just goes to show it wasn't like a national artist. He wasn't. It was just L.A. He was big. Don't get me wrong, but we barely knew who he was. And I mean, if they're gonna cap, they can cap. But a lot of us had to figure out who he like. We
Who
were
Nipsey
going through
was?
his
Yeah.
catalog. Um, it's just L.A. wasn't there. The music is. It's. I think it's rooted into whatever the LA lifestyle was and the sound, and it never became like a global thing.
Right.
So, um, and you know what? I honestly believe that's why the whole Kendrick thing was, you know, everybody thought that Drake was gonna just body Kendrick
Yeah.
because it was like LA music is not like, Drake is global.
He is.
Kendrick wasn't. He was just no, don't. He was big,
He's big, but not as
but
big as
he
Drake.
wasn't that
Yeah.
big,
Like not how Drake is. Yeah. He
Yeah,
was. Yeah.
so
No.
and they weren't really listening to Kendrick music like that. Like Kendrick music not on like it,
Kendrick. Yeah.
it's not like on like movies or soundtracks or just in everybody's car everywhere. That was Drake. So it's the LA music lifestyle. So we was I wasn't picking no sides, but I'm just saying people thought even Drake himself thought, oh, this is about to be a wash.
Mm-hmm.
I think what it is now. So I'm mentored by Hunt at TDE, co-founder of TDE. He basically found Kendrick and SZA and everybody over there.
Mm-hmm.
So he's LA to the core music. So he was he's always said, bro, like, it's a music is an art form.
Mm-hmm.
It's the culture, it's a lifestyle. And I think what really brought the LA music, what brought LA culture to the world is Kendrick being able to display what real art form is
Mm-hmm.
within this beef. This beef became
Yeah. It turned into
national.
a whole thing. Yeah. It turned into a whole
It
bigger thing.
the thing what the beef did though was it it got all the eyes and ears from all over the country.
Yeah.
Shit, I mean all over the continent because
Yeah.
Canada
Seriously.
too. It got shit all over the world because the point is they were able to see what Kendrick and the LA culture music really is because nobody cared.
Yeah. Nah. For real.
You know what I'm saying? So now they see
Made it
like,
all the way to the Super Bowl and all types of shit. Yeah, which is crazy.
and now they see, this is a life, this is a culture. Like now everybody in the world was, not like us. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah. No.
And now I think LA has a chance to
Make it outside of just
make it
LA.
outside of
Yeah.
LA.
Yeah, Kendrick, you know that? Yeah. I'm glad you brought that up for sure. Like, Kendrick, that being said, all this kind of happened within the past year. Yeah, that beast turned into something like you said, globally.
Yeah, it's global. But
Eh,
remember, LA music just so if you got new up and coming artists coming out of LA,
Yeah.
you got it's like again, I'm not really experiencing this part because the culture.
Yeah.
I'm not LA culture, but I mean I've been adopted into it. But it's like, how do you create that to relate to a national or global? How do you break that mold to make this enjoyable to all ears, all eyes
Yeah.
outside of just LA?
LA people, yeah.
And that part, I haven't really. I mean, again, Kendrick did it. Punch, TDE, they did it. But I still feel like they grinded for years.
Yeah, Kendrick's been around forever.
They grinded for years, and it was
Forever.
but it was still only in LA though.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, honestly, man, it just gotta stick, bro. It just gotta stick. Well, it just takes one record. I don't doubt that up and coming LA artists can be global. It just takes consistency in that one record. That one record that just stick. People be like, yo, who's that? I think you can use the same formula for everybody that's trying to, you know, come up in this industry. But yeah, man, I'm getting hit to LA and the vibe.
Do you work with like I would say quote unquote like TikTok artists, like people that kind of came up
Absolutely.
off of
Well,
the TikTok sound?
I don't
Like
even know what a TikTok
like
sound is.
like I'll give you an example like Tommy, what's his name? Richard Man or whatever, like I
See,
never step baby.
oh
Can't do no wrong.
yeah,
Would you work with him?
I would work with him. He came
Yes.
from TikTok.
Pretty much. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. He
Yeah,
pretty much came from TikTok, yeah. So like
it's
that. So do
it.
you work with artists like that?
I work with any artists who have influence.
Oh
So
yeah, you are pretty big on that.
yeah, like if that means because our music is
Voice, yeah.
you have a fan base and listeners. Um, I hate the word TikTok artist, man.
Man, that's a thing.
It really
That is a
dilutes.
thing, bro.
It
That
is.
is a thing.
But it
That is
dilutes
a thing.
the brand of the artist who's really trying to
But
be an
that's what I'm
artist.
trying to. That's why I was trying to tell you. Like, I feel like music doesn't hold its value like it does anymore. Because
Yeah.
you really could just, like I said, like it kind of like the music be trash, bro. And they're not even like. But next thing you know, they get the millions of dollar deals just because the sound, like or whatever. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
the actual music of it, and that's why it doesn't last. Like it goes up, and then they just. It's like, what's the next thing?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
and that's why I reiterate, it's very important to embrace the journey. You got to put out sounds, work with producers, like Jay said, find that right sound. You know what I mean? That stuff is very important. You know what I mean? Because it gives you time to grow. And to
You
establish, what you got going on.
you also gotta stay within your your. I'm gonna use the word tax bracket.
Yeah.
Um, that doesn't necessarily mean money. I think it means more like your value, and not take too much offense to the fact that bigger songwriters or producers are not open to just working with you as an upcoming artist. So you find a producer, and the reason why is because I mean everybody has a thing going. Like it's it, the, I would find the producer, songwriter, team, engineer that is just as hungry as you, but also you can reach out to someone who's grasp, who you can obtain, someone who has the same aspirations as you, you know. Like an upcoming artist can't try to hit up like Mustard and say, "Hey man, can you build with me, bro?" He doesn't. Not that he doesn't.
Mustard ain't gonna do that
It's
for you,
just
brother.
he's just not because he's
Yeah.
not because he's you know cocky or nothing. It's just it doesn't make sense.
I mean, if you come across on your own a Mustard and he sees your work, then you have more
That's
chance of that happening. But
that's totally different.
yeah,
Like if it's
yeah,
organic,
yeah.
but your mindset should be, let me build up with someone who's willing to build with me, who we can come up together.
So
You
I
know what I'm
try to
saying?
do. I've been trying to
And
bring my friends along this whole ride with me. Claim them on
yeah,
my team and just, because I want them to they understand that we are building right now. We're
yeah,
building
yeah,
something bigger than ourselves.
exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, from starting in the crib to studios and everything like that, but it's all part of the journey. You know what I mean? We're building. It doesn't happen overnight. So, and I try to bring people up that have, like I said, same aspirations, the hunger and the drive, and just yeah,
I encourage learning the business.
of course,
Learn the business side of music because it can be frustrating. It can be cutthroat. You can get played.
yeah,
You can get into situations that's gonna make you uh not want to do music anymore. You'll be so unmotivated.
man,
Learn the business. Um, you know, even I'll kind of allude to the situation that I was on my stories with
yeah. We
the
might
other
as well
day.
bring that up, yeah, too, as well. So let's talk about it. Of course, there was this. incident or something that occurred that, isn't nothing new. Of course, since you've been in the industry in a long time, so this isn't the first time. But it got to the point where Jay like had to talk about it on the gram. So it had to be something. Yeah, So we got to break that down, bro. So to this kind of like, I'm gonna let you just leave with it, Jay. You tell him.
Well,
You tell him. Yeah, you
so
tell him.
I'm trying to
Mhm.
not I'm not trying. I don't want to use the artist's name.
Yeah, that's
Um because only because it's still pending, right?
okay.
Um and uh I actually like the artist. Like I'm really fond of her music. Um so I'll just break down what it was, um but I will say that if it gets crazy,
Hmm.
then I'm definitely gonna call it out. But I just don't think
We
it.
have to run up another podcast, bro.
Yeah, if it gets crazy, I don't think it will. I think it's handled. I think it'll be handled. I'm almost positive it'll be handled.
Yeah.
But so again, I work very hard, bro. I am one of those that will, if I see something in you, I believe in the brand, if I believe in the music, then I'm going to, invest my time and my resources, my talent. So, yeah, this is one artist of a really dope artist. She's a movie. She's doing movies. She sings amazingly well. She got an amazing look, and um, I connected with her, and this was like last year this time, and bro, I like immediately got her in the studio, and it was just like instant hits, bro. We were just like creating some of the greatest music, and she's R&B, like an R&B pop star.
Mm.
Um, and I brought her to the studio. I brought some songwriters. Um, got the engineer Marv actually, and bro, we just she enjoyed the first session. It was great.
Yep.
Second session, again went in the studio work. I'm creating. By the way, it's very rare that I create music on the spot, like produced in the session, because I don't like to waste time in the session. But some artists prefer that. So like we're creating from scratch, like the chords, guitars, bass lines, strings, melodies. We're creating all of this in the session. So that means our sessions are lasting like 8 hours, 9 hours, bro.
Damn.
Yeah, I did about 5, 6 sessions with this artist, and we created some great music. And at some point, I had to. So the there's the creative Jayuncut, who
Mm.
I get lost in because I love to create, and then there's the business side of Jayuncut,
Mhm.
where I have to stop and say, wait, hold on, let's get this right. And I did that one session. I was like, hey, so how are we talking to the manager? Her manager who was with her like 24 hours a day, damn near. That's what it looks like. To be all in the videos like Puff Daddy. And I just had to ask her. I was like, so what's the deal here? How is this music going to? And she was just like, hey, we're trying to work it out. We're gonna work out this distro. I don't know. We're gonna get you right. All in all, it was basically we ain't got no money for you. All right. So I'm not a money hungry person. I've never been.
That's the next thing we want to talk about is money management.
Yeah, yeah. I've never been on that type of time because I don't chase it. Money comes. If you do work, it'll come. So I've never been on that like, well, I'm just gonna pack my stuff up and leave. I was like, all right, we'll figure it out. Let's make it make sense. Anyway, at the end of it, there was no more communication after that. The managers just kind of stopped connecting with me. And it was to the point where I was like, well, maybe they're going on their own. Like I'm okay. Like I'm not emotional. I don't attach myself to artists or music, whatever the case is, because I have other stuff going on. So I'm like, all right, maybe I guess they're moving on to other music, other producers, whatever. I just stopped hearing from him. And then I get a call saying, "Hey, we're putting out your song next." Or one of my songwriters was like, "I think their song is going to be being released." And I was like, "Well, that's funny because ain't nobody calling me. My manager ain't calling me." Yeah, lo and behold, I see this particular artist posting the song on Instagram.
Mm.
Posted it like coming out in April. So I'm like, "How's it coming out?" And no one hit me, And that's when I found out that I heard it and the song was remade. The beat was remade. So he had other producer come in and just completely remake my
So
beat.
how does that? Okay, let's back that up. All right, so you guys already had a couple songs in the vault.
Yeah.
You brought up the situation.
Yeah.
They said basically gave you the runaround. We're
Yeah.
gonna get back to you. Kind of waited a couple. They said this time around last year, right?
It had to have been at
Kind of
least
waited till like maybe at
4
least
or 5 months.
yeah,
Yeah.
basically kind of try to wait till like wait it out or whatever,
Yeah.
and then didn't contact you that the song was even dropping, let alone like of course the the contracts around the song or whatever, the not even that either.
None of that. And then I look up on Instagram and the song is being previewed for a release with a release date, and it's a whole new beat. Mind you, it's still my chords.
Yeah, so let's get into that point. So it's the song that you guys had, but they
Yeah.
just took it and what like
They
redid the beat.
they
How
redid
do
the
you
beat.
redo?
So like let's say
Yeah.
so I'll just in this situation, I made the drums. So I'm making the drums, kicks, hi-hats, snares. I put the pattern together.
Right.
And then I had called my boy from New York. His name is Bassface. He plays guitar. So I played the beat from on FaceTime. He's like, "Yeah, I got some vibes to that." So he's playing the guitar and then he records it, sends me the guitar stems. I put it on the track. I put everything else around it, and I send it to the engineer in the studio for her to sing the song on. And then I hear on this preview
Yeah.
that I guess they had a new guitar player replay the same chords.
Jeez.
They had the producer
Really reaching, huh?
They had the producer
Yeah.
replay the drums, same pattern. They just had him reproduce it with the same. So
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, this is my song. Y'all basically covered my song.
Wow.
Y'all basically did y'all sampled basically my shit.
And so now that happened, like, what's the consequences for someone doing something like
So
that to you, bro?
it's copyright infringement is what it is if you don't get clearance from the original creator. And the lawyer was I don't know, this must be a rental lawyer. I don't know what kind of lawyer this is, but he made it seem like everything is
I seen the
cool.
messages too. Like I think they even like admitted to like doing
Admitted,
that. They're like,
yeah.
"Oh, this is it's your beat, but it's like the different." They said
Yeah.
it something like that. They said something like that in the message. I read it. They're like, "Oh yeah, don't worry, it's your beat, but we did it different or something like
Yeah.
that."
I
They
was like,
literally said that in the message. I was like, "Bro, yeah."
I
I
was
was like,
when
"Damn."
I saw that, I was like,
It's
ain't
like there's no way,
dog.
no way. I just told me that. Like,
It was so hilarious to me. It
Damn.
was concerning because
Yeah.
I feel like I don't have any emotions in this thing,
Yeah.
but it's like I worked really hard with this artist.
Right.
And it's
And of
like,
course that's like your name we're talking about. You
Yeah.
feel me? Like it's something that you built value over time as well.
and I said, "Hey, why would you?" First of all, you admitted to it, so you're
Yeah.
basically saying, "Yeah, we are
Yeah,
basically
case
taking it."
closed. Case closed.
But he was so adamant that, "Hey, we're gonna get away with this." So either way, I got my lawyers involved. They're
They're
doing
handling that?
everything. Yeah, they're handling all of this, and it's you know what's unfortunate
Mm.
is that I don't even think the artist knows what's going on. Yeah, I think she's steady promoting it like everything is fine. And
Have you like this connection with this artist, whatever that we're not gonna name? Like, do you guys like talk a lot?
We don't.
Or what like I
No,
guess
we don't
or was
talk.
it more of those kind of like I send this to you for
No, we used
type
to
of
talk.
oh man. But
Yeah,
I mean like the relationship like I don't know. Like I guess I don't know.
the
Explain it,
manager
but
got it. The manager got
like you weren't able to just call FaceTime her and be like, hey, like
no.
okay, so it's not that something like okay, so the
You know what?
relationship
It's
yeah.
I'm gonna call her right now.
No way.
She
No way. You never tried that?
no.
That's the first thing I would do. I would be like, yo, like, what's going on? This is gonna be crazy. There's no way she would answer.
I don't think she would
You
answer.
think she
I don't.
would?
I don't. It wouldn't be in her best interest.
It probably wouldn't.
No.
But you haven't texted her like at all? Like you haven't said
I
nothing?
have.
Okay, so she
I
knows.
DM'd.
Okay, so she
I
knows.
sent a DM, but
Okay.
she didn't respond.
Okay, she knows.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See?
Okay. So she knows on some type of level.
So that I think that just
Yeah.
that just goes to show that
Yeah.
she's trying to ignore the situation.
Yeah. Well, they're probably telling her don't answer him. Don't
They're-
talk to him.
I would
yeah.
say they're saying all of that. I think she's trying to stay out of it
Yeah.
and just be an artist. Or
Unfortunate.
she could be just like, who knows? I just know that it's gonna get handled.
Yeah, you gotta tell me after who we're talking. Do I know her? Would I know her?
Maybe maybe if you
Mhm.
see her, you'll But
All right.
this is why you need to learn the business, because especially if you're an upcoming artist, or if if you're representing an upcoming artist,
Hell yeah.
putting yourself or your artist in these type of situations can be so different. And it's like, how do you plan to be successful, or even move forward as a professional, and then you run into these type of situations, or you're not doing your homework. But yeah, I was just like so thrown off by seeing that.
Damn. And
Yeah.
I remember you started off this conversation saying that you really are fond of them
Yeah,
as well.
she's really
Which
dope.
must have been like kind of heartbreaking a little bit. Yeah. Which kind of does not make it any better, huh? And it's sad because it really be the people you're a fan of too, which just sucks.
Yeah.
Isn't that something?
Yeah.
Isn't that something?
It'd
be the people you think that are great, or the people that you really are fond of and have real respect for that end up letting you down. And it's a damn shame, man. And I've been trying to do better and trying to trying to notice that, and people. Because sadly, my fortunate experience, like most people that have done me wrong the most have been the people I fuck.
Yeah.
Sadly,
Yeah,
and that's really. And it really sucks because think about it, like all the artists you work with all across the board, whatever. All the people that probably could have, or you probably thought maybe like they're not, and it'd be the the complete opposite, and that's really a damn shame. It sucks for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so what would you say, like, what's something someone could do to avoid that from happening to them?
Well, this is integrity. You gotta, you first off, if you know that, you handle your business. But if you know you don't have the money to pay a producer or whatever creative that's in your circle, have a conversation. Just, hey man, I don't have this, but you know what I'm saying? Can we work this out? Can we do conversation can go a long way.
Being transparent,
Yeah.
communicating. Okay, that's something you can definitely do. So, like you producers out there, upcoming producers that want to jump on all these, these opportunities that come fast to you and stuff like that. Don't be afraid to really express yourself and talk to the business. I actually talked to Lil Great too, and he said, it's honestly best to have your lawyers communicate for you. That's another thing he said. He said, don't try to do business with the artist direct. That's what he said. What he said. He said, honestly, lawyers are better to do that for you because it looks, yeah.
No, there's truth to that,
Mhm.
but I think it's great to have creator relationship, and I don't think, maybe not necessarily talking business, but it's good to have an idea out with each other. Like, hey, this is how we're going to move. We can let our teams handle the numbers and all that.
Right.
But I think transparency within the two
Yourself
creators
and the person.
Yeah, I
Okay, so
think
just
that's-
as important. Okay.
Yeah, but there's truth
We can
to
agree. Yeah, we can agree on that for sure.
to allow your
Lawyers
lawyers to kind of handle the business. But it really just depends how dire the situation. So if it's just a local thing, then you guys can do that.
Right.
But once it gets to the level of you got labels involved, or
Yeah, because
major
I'm only talking
distributor-
to professionals right now. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
lie to you. So like, Loaded Gray is professional just as well as
Yeah,
yourself.
yeah,
So like, you know what I mean. So I think he was referring to that as well. But
Right.
yeah, agreed. Definitely agreed, man, for sure. So do not try to do that to my boy Jay, man. Y'all tripping. Y'all tripping.
Yeah, I've taken down at least 5 different records cease and desist. I
Yeesh.
have Apple Music and Spotify take down the
It's
apartment on
almost
speed
kind
dial.
of flattering though, the fact that people want to go that lengths of just trying to have your sound. It's almost kind of like, damn, I'm kind of like the G like that.
You
Like
know
they're
what?
really risking a lawsuit just to like trying to just to.
When you think about
It is kind of hard the fact that they're going these lengths, brother, to just to say that they got a song with Jay. Like it's pretty crazy. Like I don't know, like it's kind of a flex, bro.
it is
You
kind of
know,
wild.
I would kind of feel
because-
crazy if someone was going out there like trying to do the most just to say that they kind of like did something with me or whatever. I'll be like, okay, bro. Like
in this case, they're
Yeah.
trying to avoid saying that they
Right.
work with me, but they're
Right.
using my sound.
But for the most part, they're going some lengths just to either if it's like saying to work with you or just to have that sound.
that
Yeah,
sound,
it's either all the way around. You're doing something right
That is
for sure. So like I said, man, that's pretty crazy, man.
yeah.
You're G, man, for sure.
But it's I think the reason why I smile about it because I do have everything in order. So being able to have everything, get my team behind things, like I'm not scrambling to try to figure out what to do. I think everything is kind of like in place to handle. So it'll be an interesting few weeks. That's what I can say because the song does release April the 8th.
Y'all better get my man paid, man. We taking it down.
Yeah, for
On a
sure,
G.
for sure. So
Period, point blank.
Yeah.
Ain't no way around it. That's what it is.
right.
You did this to yourself. Not
Yo,
Jay.
this is hilarious.
You did this to yourself. No one told you to do this. You did this.
Yeah.
So don't get mad. For sure, man. Don't be a victim of a crime that you created.
Right.
For sure. Okay, man. So 2 things I want to talk to you real quick before we end the episode, which is the money management. Of course, we talked about in the first episode, my man Jay right here blew $250,000 in 1 year with his. I want to say that your first deal. First one? Yeah, and on top of it was his first one. Like his first deal, $250K, blew it in 1 year. And honestly, like the way he explained it, like he kind of honestly, it's crazy when you hear it, but the way he kind of explained it, like he broke down like it's not just one bag. You understand? Like he's making money on top of the bag. So. And I feel like we honestly all are victims of that. Like when we have money coming in, like you think it's like, it's hard to really differentiate like money that you're coming in, especially when you have money in the bank. You know what I mean? So basically what I'm trying to say is he broke it down to like, it's not just like I had 250, like I'm making money on top of that. So I'm kind of like, it goes back and forth. He might make 25, 50K, I don't know, in a couple days. I don't know. He makes a lot of money, whatever. So then like, he'll be like, okay, cool. Let me go buy something like this. And then I makes it back, but oh damn, this came up. Bam, I got now 30,000 go out the door here or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, can we talk about some advice to others to not do that, brother?
Well, I think every situation is different. Because if we're speaking about artists or producers or creators who get like a deal,
any deal.
Yeah.
Don't blow that. I mean, I'm a podcaster to this day, and like, I mean, there's deals like that on the table. You know what I mean? And I don't know.
I mean, I ain't gonna lie, man. I don't even know. I can't even say I really learned my lesson.
Damn.
But
I see you at the casino, brother.
I do. I'd be at the casino.
I know you be gambling, brother. I know this nigga be gambling. And he be like, bro, I knew it, bro. I be seeing him, man. He be gambling, bro.
But I can tell you what I wouldn't do again.
Go ahead.
And I think it's, and I said this to you the first time.
Yeah.
You have to get it out your system, bro.
You did say it's like a sugar rush.
You have to. I still till this day, I'm a down this hill that if it's your first time getting money, it's gone. You're not. It's so hard to. You can't even give advice to someone and say, "Hey, save." This is your first time with a lump sum of money. The world is too big. We're in Los Angeles. You can walk down the street and you blow $10,000 because
Easy.
it's so obtainable. Everything is just so bright, and the lights get really bright when you got a lot of money in your pocket.
You start looking like I need this.
You start
I need
seeing
that.
It's just like
I need this.
It doesn't. Things that you didn't even know existed, all of a sudden you have interest in. It's such a weird mental trip because it's like it's like you didn't even know what that was a few weeks ago, and now that you have some money in your pocket, now all of a sudden you need it.
Isn't that a weird thing though, Jay? Like, you know, I'll ask myself that all the time. Obviously, I've never seen half a quarter mil in my face like that. But I will say this: like, there's certain things that I feel like in life, you know, you could take yourself from just being a younger kid. You know, there's certain things that you would just dream about, like having a car, right?
Mhm.
You'll give anything just to have your own car. Then
Yeah.
you get your own car, and this car is not nice enough. Now you need a newer.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like I've been trying to appreciate what you have. But we're all guilty and victims of it.
Yeah.
You know, you want something, then you have it, then you want something else, then you want something else. Then it's like, you know, you get so lost in it. You know what I mean? You get really lost in it. And I know you feel me what I'm saying right now.
I
You know?
I think I I'm not gonna
Yeah.
use the word. I'm not gonna use age, but I'm a little older
Right.
than most of the entertainment industry. Well, I'd say the music industry. But I think there's a lot of things I lost desire in, which is what helping me manage money a little better.
Can you name some things?
Like hoes.
Took you
Ho-
a while. Took you a little while.
I lost interest in.
Yeah,
I lost
a $250,000, $1 million later. He ain't interested
I
in them
used-
shorties no more.
I used to give
Yeah,
money.
all right.
I used to give up money like,
Yeah.
yo, that's a baddie right there. Yo, come here. Yeah, what's your cash?
Don't be like this nigga Jay, man.
Bro,
Don't be like
it
that,
was,
bro.
It was.
Leave those shorties where they're at.
I mentioned some names. I ain't even tripping. So
And I have a very important question to ask you after this podcast as well that I forgot to ask you the first time.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and you have to answer me honestly.
Oh yeah.
I got a real question for you,
Yeah.
But yeah, man, that's crazy. So women, that was one of your things, you know.
Bro, I was going on dates with women I'd never in my life thought I would get with. I was like, yo, why are you?
You want to go eat with me?
You want to eat with me? Like
you said we could do that. We
Bro.
can kick it all day. We kick it all day.
I ain't gonna lie, man. It was cool. I before I don't mind mentioning her name. If she want to get mad,
You knocked some baddies down though.
bro.
You knocked some baddies down for sure. Would you say it was kind of worth it a little bit?
Yeah.
Like, I know we could all do things over, whatever, but come on, some of it had to be like, come on, dog.
I had the Claremont twins, bro. Yo,
the twins is crazy, brother.
Not both of them, so I'm not even gonna degrade them like that. Sinead is an amazing, beautiful woman.
Maybe they just,
and just I honestly was like, yo, that was dope that we connected, whatever. But
yeah,
but that's because I had. To me, this is what I'm not shading them. I'm just saying like money. It's like you can walk around and basically do whatever you want, and they know that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like it attracts them. I've if we have to cut some of this off, I don't mind, bro. But
we do full raw. This is the real me. So everything you say, brother, it's all on the YouTube, man.
No,
sure.
I'm not gonna mention no. Never mind.
Yeah,
I don't want to get us get sued. But I had some celebrities, bro. Some chicks that just it was crazy. I don't even. It's craziness. But the reason why I'm saying this is because that's where the sugar rush comes in. It's like, oh, this is what I'm getting by just being able to go to the club and blow $30K in a night, and all of a sudden it's like now you see that chick in your section, and now she wants your number, and now all of a sudden she's coming home with you, and it's like, dang, bro, I want more of this. But then as you get older, as I got older, first of all, the money dwindled. I read back up, by the way. So guys, we
definitely recouped that investment. We definitely recouped that for sure.
But the point is, like, when you get it out your system and then you realize you ain't got no more money, all of that stuff becomes so disgusting. It's like you realize it was not worth it. You realize, matter of fact, the interest, the desire, just
the fact that you went down that road with them shorties, Jay.
Bro,
Christ, brother.
I was sending bread. What was $1,500 sometimes. Just hey, this just have a good Tuesday type thing.
Just to say that you did some shit like that.
Yeah, bro. It was, and I
Yeesh,
was in a
man.
relationship too, man. I was
God, Jay.
yeah. She knows, so
Okay, you're
I,
honest.
yes, I did some horrible things, bro.
Damn.
I was going to crazy girls, just bang. I was taking them down, bro. I went to
Knock 'em down, brother.
Sam's, knocking them
You
down,
knock him
bro.
down, whatever.
Bro, back in Atlanta, I was at the Lord knocking them down,
Mm.
bro. It was it was a
I
wild
ain't even
time.
from Atlanta.
But I want to say though,
Go
I
ahead.
gotta say, bro, like there is not a single dude
Yeah.
in our culture that's not gonna do the same thing when they get their money. I'm just telling you, bro.
I'm not gonna do it.
It's
I'm a
so
humble you shorties.
and
I ain't spending 30K, 1,500. Hell no. I don't even take girls on dates.
but you once you grow out of it, man, you see the world so differently, bro. I'm like in a family oriented space now. That's why I went and bought a house,
Yeah.
bro.
Congratulations on that, of course.
Yeah, appreciate it, bro.
Nice.
I'm I don't go out no more, bro. I don't go to
Unk status now.
dog. It's
You've
if
seen
I
everything. You've done everything.
it's like when if I go on a date with a shorty, I'm like focused on either we're gonna like take our time and do this, and it's gonna be just
like, what
me
do
and
you
you.
really, what do you really want from this?
Yeah. It's because I'm not gonna be out dating other chicks. Like I'm really locked in, bro. And
Yeah.
everything that it's
Has to have a
hard,
purpose.
bro.
Yeah.
Everything has to be intentional with
Mhm.
life moving forward. That's how I know that any big lump sum of money is just gonna be a totally different mindset. But I think it doesn't happen unless I get that out the way.
So do you think when I get my first big sponsor deal, you think I'm gonna blow that?
Yeah. You may not blow it, but you gonna enjoy some
I'm gonna
experiences.
splurge
You're gonna enjoy some experiences. You're gonna have to, bro. I honestly would encourage it. Not
to a certain
irresponsibly.
degree.
Yeah.
To a certain degree.
Because it's gonna grow you.
Right.
You're gonna be like
Sometimes you gotta just go through
you
things.
have to. Because if you don't, then you'll desire it at the wrong time of your life.
Okay.
You'll be grown, ready to start when people are ready to start a family with you, and you're like, damn, I ain't had no threesome yet though. Dang, I ain't go to the club and drop 20 yet. You're gonna and it's gonna the impulse it's gonna be there.
They
But
say, you one of them old heads trying to get
trying to
on
get
now.
bro, I be thinking that when I see old heads in the club trying to bag chicks, I be like, bro, did you not
Y'all
get that out your
missed it. Y'all
system?
missed that window.
Like, what was you doing in your
Y'all
20s?
missed that window for sure.
Yeah, bro, get that out. You should have been.
And I'm
got
only
that
I'm
out.
only 22, bro.
Oh,
Yeah,
you
I'm
got
only 22.
time, bro.
I'm only
You got
22.
time.
Yeah, about to be 23
When
next
that
month.
bag hits you, bro, do your thing. I encourage it. Go do, even if you have to lose it. Also, real hustlers, when you lose it, you get it right
Get
back.
it right back every time.
Every single time.
Every time ain't nothing.
So that's
It ain't nothing.
That's why I encourage, bro, blow that shit. Get
On
it
some
out your
real
system,
shit, yeah. On some
bro.
real shit, yeah.
Go have fun, bro.
Invest some of it though.
I always encourage,
Invest.
but nobody's gonna listen to that. But yes, invest. But your impulse,
Like, see, my podcast, like, I can see, like, if you gave me like 100,000 or 50,000 right now or something like that, like, I put half of it into equipment and promo. Like, I could tell you something like literally, I could already like MacBook, new computer, lights, new mics. Like, I could already tell you that's what's, and then the rest would probably go into just like
going
promo.
to the strip club.
Yeah.
I'm trying to tell you, he really think it's that easy. It sounds good.
I got a plan, bro.
It sounds good,
I got a plan, bro, for real.
Dog,
I'm gonna blow something for sure. Like, I don't know. I definitely would probably be like guilty to the. I've always like been a fan of jewelry for sure. So I think I would like want to like buy like a Datejust Rolex.
Absolutely.
Not a bust it down like that, but just like a Datejust kind of like plain Jane.
Hey, plain Jane's is about 25. Jane. You go down the road days. It's just 25. It's out of here though.
But that's investments. Like I said, that's something that's gonna hold its value.
True.
And time is money. So
hey man, just do your thing, bro.
You know what I'm saying? But that's probably
too young, bro. You're too young to even try to be all responsible. That sounds so bad. I know it sounds so bad to say.
But life has a way of just like, bro, like I had to like I moved out last year. Like I was literally like running kind of like my mom owned the place, right? But she was never there, so I would just like run it out there.
Yeah.
So technically I was on my own, but not really. But I had to move out, man. Got my own place now. I got like $1K plus in rent. You know, I'm 22, bro. I'm
That's
playing
actually
1K
pretty good
plus.
for LA. Holy shit.
Well,
One
technically, I'm a
K.
little, yeah, I'm outside outside LA,
Oh,
but
okay.
little, yeah, but man, like,
It's rough.
yeah,
It's
it's
hard.
really, it's hard. You know what I mean? So I have to kind of like,
I got you. I got you.
yeah. So there's certain things I feel like, it's all about the person and thing like that. But
Yeah.
I'm at the point where like if I can't pay rent, I don't have a place to live, and I don't
That's
think
true.
not a lot of people like. I can't live with my parents.
Yeah,
My parents
yeah.
are own. They got their own. My mom got a 1 bedroom apartment for herself, like
Yeah,
and she her
yeah.
partner or whatever. So I can't. I don't got a house to go to. So it's
Yeah,
just
yeah. You
I
gotta
know I
grind.
understand the seriousness of that.
Yeah, yeah.
So like 12,000. That's a year's worth of rent right there. So if I see any type of money like that, I'm already looking like 12K. That's a year for my rent. Not a lot of people don't even have that type of money.
Facts.
Plus car notes and utility bills, and I know you're a homeowner as well now, bro. And so I feel like that's the reason why I think once I hope once I start touching some money that I will, because I've been through like I've got my car repossessed before.
Me too.
Yeah, so things like that really build your financial character. I don't know the right words for that, but it kind of builds like a sense of money for sure.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
This is why. First off, we're in one of the greatest cities in the world for opportunity.
Yeah.
I people always ask
Shout out
why.
LA, the LA family, the Real Me fam for sure. Shout you guys out for sure.
Man, people ask why I moved to LA because so many people still think I'm in Atlanta. I've been here for at least 4 years now.
You barely post, bro.
Yeah, that's probably
You
why.
only post like
Yeah.
you could really be anywhere.
And but I always say, man, like LA, if you're a creator, um, my whole network, my circle of people, associates, we're all creators. So w- we have to move differently. We have to think differently. Every day is a hustle. Every day is like you said, if you don't pay your rent, you not sleeping in
Oh
your
yeah,
you
no,
know.
I'm done.
But you got to keep in mind, we're not 9 to 5ers. We don't have like it's like you have to wake up and say, I have to make
This
money
is it.
today.
I be telling myself, I'm saying, bro, I don't got a choice, bro. If
You
you
don't
do
got no
I'm
choice.
like, dude, like this YouTube monetization ads and like these deals that I'm talking about, I don't like. I can't. Like, there's no other like. This is it, man. This is it for sure.
It's
man.
it's scary, but it's
it
like
is very.
but it's like when it starts to roll, it's like your mind automatically adjusts to this whole it's like working out a bit. I'm still trying to get there. I haven't. But I heard when you work out
I
every
seen
day,
you program a little bit, brother. You looking good.
I'm trying.
Yeah.
I heard when you work out daily, it starts to become natural.
Yeah, of course.
They say it's like it doesn't feel like workout anymore. It's just a daily routine.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's the same thing with hustling. It's like you don't think about, damn, am I gonna make $1 a day? It's like you just automatically know, oh, we get into it because it's become a routine. But it is scary at times because there are days, there are weeks that you're not gonna make anything, bro.
Yeah.
And that part you gotta like, I don't know, man. You gotta find a true hustler finds another way, or they go harder in there. But you know, and this is where the spiritual aspect for me comes in. I think that I'm when you are deep rooted in your relationship with God, and you have and you have like a understanding of faith.
Yeah.
I believe that your hustle and your faith, it just creates a way every single time. I think there will not be a month that you go without if you combine the two with your faith and your hustle. There's a scripture that says faith without works is dead. So it's like you can have faith, but if you just be lazy with it,
it's not just gonna. Yeah.
it ain't happening. But but if you combine the two, I don't think there is a month that goes by where you are not you don't make your bread, or you don't have a roof over your head. And then the beautiful thing about it is that all it takes is that one opportunity, and now all of a sudden you up. Now you up like you're making more money than you ever thought you would make. So that's the beauty of being like in this creative space. And I just believe that LA is one of the greatest cities for that. Um, Networking with people, being able to just get out and just move around and, you know, meet new people and communicate and just and let people know what you do. Sell yourself, man. Like if you're especially if you're good at what you do, you bold enough to say, bro, this is this is my podcast. This is my beats. These are my music, man. This is what I do. I want you to check me out, bro. You walk with a confidence, like, and all of a sudden, man, people gravitate to confidence.
I think this is a perfect example of that.
Yeah, yeah.
Perfect example.
People gravitate to confidence, man, and then you you start making more money with strangers, bro. Strangers will look at you as if like I respect you. I don't even know you, but I respect you because of how you move, how you talk, how you walk, how you present yourself. You know, not really focusing on the people who you grew up with or know you because they looking at you like, oh, you're still trying or whatever.
Right.
But man, you're in a city where strangers who have the resources for you will respect you off of first glance or first conversation.
Yeah, presence is very important. Like when I go out to Melrose and I do these vlogs and stuff like that, I'm there, I'm walking, I got a camera on me, I got a security guard behind me and stuff like that. And then I'm, saying what's up to the owner.
Yeah.
People are more intrigued by that because it's like, all right, when you see like famous people in one room, that's kind of like, okay, that makes sense. But when you're right there, it kind of like, it's more of an eye opener, like, who
Yeah.
is that?
Who is that?
You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like you know what I mean? Obviously, because, okay, for you example, you be with Ruby Rose and all the other types of people, right? That's gonna make sense, right? But someone I was there, something like they'll be like, what? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it stands out more when you bring that presence to, when you're out there
Yeah.
and bring that confidence and say, yeah, this is me. And I just wanted to totally agree on that because when I go out to LA, people be really intrigued on who I am because it's more just like, okay, I see Greedo and Ralphie the Plug. Why is Rel right there? Like, what is
Yeah.
Rel
Yeah.
doing? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
But
yeah, I don't know if I explained that right. I'm sorry, but yeah, I just hopefully, yeah, wanted to get that across for sure.
man,
Yeah.
and another thing, I do or
Mm.
what I did
Mm.
was fake it till you make it.
Yes, sir.
I did a lot of I ain't supposed to be here, but I'm here.
Yes, sir.
Or I ain't supposed to look like this, but I'm doing this because I'm selling who I am, who I really am.
It's really a form of manifestation to me. Yeah,
Manifestation,
it's really a
yeah.
form of manifestation to me. It's like it's really just building a mindset. I
Yeah.
feel like almost in a way, you know what I mean? You're training yourself to be where you want to go. You know?
There is a controversy with that
Mhm.
though. When you're dealing with people who are not necessarily in your field of work, they'll look at it as you're putting on a facade.
Oh, well, just like I said, to a certain extent, I feel like I look at it as like I always want to, like me, for example, I've always treated my podcast like it's already a million podcasts.
As
From
you
the
should.
minute I've started it.
Yeah.
From the minute I wanted to structure it, having assistants, having producers, I've always looked at it like it's like the world's already watching.
Yeah.
Like how the way I carry myself, the way I run my social media, the way I run my TikTok, having this and that, scheduling, like having things on a schedule. I've always and I'm not trying to fake it. I just want to be perceived how, like, I want to strive to how I want to be perceived.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or at least eventually be respected how I want to be someday. If that makes sense. Yeah, if that makes sense.
That's how you're supposed to do
And
it.
I think that's the mindset you should have. Like, not so much like, okay, I'm just gonna act like I'm not doing anything or like faking it to a certain extent. But I think you should train yourself to be how you want to be in life. You know what I mean? Like, treat yourself like you're already big or you're already successful. Yeah, however that may look like.
That was one of my mentalities.
Right.
Yeah, I think once you get that level of success, I think a little bit of that starts to die down. When it comes to like showing or just trying to be something that you're not. You can be who you are especially if you've reached this level of success, be that, because that should be motivating enough. But you start to tone down doing too much. Like for instance, I don't even like wearing jewelry. I just did it for the podcast.
That's a damn lie, brother.
I swear, I just did it.
That's a lie.
I don't.
That's a lie. That's a fucking lie.
I
That's
only
a fucking
put
lie.
this on.
You wear that shit, bro. You do. He was like, okay, in the first F, he was like, this don't mean nothing to me, bro. I don't care about none of this, bro.
Bro, I swear, I don't.
Stop the cap.
Once the cameras go off, I'm taking all this
shit off
and put it in my bag.
Oh my God, bro, that is bull, bro. He be rocking. I swear, like, I don't think you sleep with it on. But you definitely go to like the grocery store.
No, I don't, bro.
You have it on. You be having it on for sure. You have it on.
But you know why? Because it looks like that on Instagram. It looks like that.
I feel like, I don't want to say I know you, Jay, but I feel like I just being around you, I still feel like, dude, you still be wearing it, bro. I feel like to a certain degree.
Man,
you got busted down like a Cuban link and a Rolex, bro. There's no way you ain't wearing that.
I'm not, bro. I don't. When I even when I go on even when I'm going to a restaurant or something, shit, bro.
Like Marv, he doesn't wear his Rolex. He don't be wearing his Rolex.
First of all, Marv is a boss. Marv is a.
So what would you call yourself?
No, I'm a boss.
Exactly.
But I'm just saying, like, he don't wear none of that, and I feel like that's what I'm moving towards. Like,
right.
I'm chill, bro. I don't even know why. I guess I got this on for the podcast.
I'm honestly just giving you a hard time, brother.
But
I'm honestly just giving you a hard time.
I don't even. Honestly, I'm moving into a space in my life where none of that even matters anymore. I think I do it for like it looks good on like camera, or like if I'm in a studio with an artist and they're filming it all aesthetics, it looks good.
Yeah.
So I'll do it for that. But other than that,
start with the Cuban, bro. Like, just stop wearing the Cuban so much. The Cuban is that's a little, right, you know?
I'm just going.
You know, I'm a bit heavy. You know what I'm saying? The
heavy.
Rolex is one thing. All right, watches. A lot of people wear watches, but the Cuban matching the Rollie, you're doing a little something. And I know you got an AP too as well.
I do. I wear that more because it's not flashy.
Because it's a plain Jane.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. To see the busted down, yeah.
I honestly, this is heavy. It's hurting my neck, bro.
Yeah.
That's why I'm just doing it for the camera.
And I know don't you have like a pendant that goes with it?
I do, yeah.
Yeah,
but I don't even wear that shit.
Uh-huh.
I think I'm moving into a humbler stage of my life to where I think we just want to because the fake it till you make it thing I passed that stage. I don't care no more. Because there's another stage to hit. There's another level, but I'm not trying to impress people anymore. Now I'm just like my work speaks.
Yeah, well, you touching millions of dollars and stuff. Right? At this point, there's really nothing else.
But I want to touch $1 million in like all assets.
Got it.
Yeah, that's where it's like that's where I feel like I made it because I had to hustle. To the money I made, I had to like really go out there and hustle. But it was like, it's like the assets should be. You should have $1 million in assets, bro. But that's just sitting like in real estate or something, man. That's why I'm so glad I purchased a home, bro. Because that to me is like asset, you know. Now I want to do another one. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, man. Blow your money, but do it one time. You have one time to blow your money. You have one time in your life to blow it.
It just doesn't sound right when you say that.
It just you only.
I get what you're trying to say. It just doesn't like. There's no way.
Because
kids are watching this like, okay, blow my money, cool.
Hey, I'm not. First off, that's why I said I am not.
We do not encourage you to blow shit.
I'm not encouraging nothing.
You gotta go through it or whatever. But dude, like, if you can contain yourself as much as you can, don't do that shit, bro.
If
for real.
If we're gonna do,
but we're being honest though. You're probably gonna do it though. That's the thing. Like you're probably gonna do it. You know,
I'm not a.
But we don't want to go tell you to do it. Though.
I'm not telling you to do it. I'm telling you that you have one time to do it though, because y'all gonna do it anyway.
Yeah, that's basically what we're saying. It's a hard message to get across, but
I trust me. If there's a kid out there who's very disciplined, do not change because it is a beautiful thing to save your bread. It's so beautiful.
And you don't have to, go see what it's like to waste $200,000 to see that. You don't have to do that.
I feel kind of bad though to encourage
you. Yeah, that's why I can't. When you just
no.
I don't know.
What I'm saying, what I'm saying is I feel kind of bad to encourage a very disciplined kid to save their money and to not experience things.
Well, the point is we want to make sure that they're disciplined kids by telling them not to do that shit.
But I feel like they lose out on the experience of life because when they get older,
that shit. Bro. I mean, you got to go through it, but bro, I promise you, if someone said, okay, Jay, let's be real. Okay. The whole 250, bro, Like, did you really have to experience that, dog?
Oh,
There's
I
no way.
regret.
There's no
No,
way you had to experience
I
that,
didn't have
bro.
to. I didn't
There's
have
no
to.
way you had to
But
experience
I
that,
don't
bro.
regret it because
Right, no regrets.
because
No regrets.
I don't think I'm thinking
But
the
if
way I
someone
am.
said, like, you know, you got a choice, because that basically what we're trying to tell them is, like, before you get it, don't do it. Like, we're giving you a choice, right? So if someone really gave you a choice, like, okay, you can experience all your money gone, or you could not do that. That's why it's like, you know what I'm saying?
Don't do it.
Don't do that shit. You feel me? So
Yeah, but
it's
just again, maybe I
Yeah.
shouldn't think like everyone else, but
Yeah,
I think that there are people out there who need to experience things in order to grow.
And I can agree with that.
Yeah.
I can agree with that.
Because if you just go through life without experiencing,
You just sometimes you don't learn. Yeah, so
you don't learn shit, and all of a sudden now you're at the age where you have no choice but to be responsible, and you're like, look at that jewelry, look at them bad bitches over there.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, bro, you were supposed to do that 20 years ago. Now you 40 trying to, So anyway, but I always say you have one chance to blow your money. The second time is on you. Now you just super irresponsible because, bro, you didn't. Of course.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna bluff some. Yeah,
and
I'm gonna invest it though, because I got it myself here, so I know how to.
But one thing I always say: if you get money the first time, you can always get it again. Once you do it one time.
Like, I want to open up my own studio space
Absolutely.
with the podcast, and like I want to have my own media warehouse. Like, I really like want to go off of that and just use promo if I can have more ads, bigger guests, like for it all, if I can make more money. Like, I don't know, I just yeah, for sure. I guess it depends what you're doing too as well. Like, yeah. All right, the Jay. Well, man, it's a wonderful episode, brother.
Yeah, bro.
This is good. Another one in the books, man. Like I said, fucking Jayuncut and Rel, the duo's back. Like I said, we had a good catch up, man.
Right.
For sure, it's always. I love to have these conversations with people that can real life that has experienced things like this and that can actually speak on certain situations and everything like that. And I think it's always dope. And I think a lot of people find this for sure appreciative. The people that haven't got to that space yet are just don't know that about, don't see that side of you, Jay, of course. And I think definitely they're going to be appreciative of that. And I definitely am, me, I'm on my way too as well.
Yeah.
So these are cool stories to hear and to, things to pick up off of. So when I eventually get to that door and stuff like that, I remember like having this conversation and things like that. So yeah, definitely, bro. Is there anything else? Like I said, a lot of new music coming this way.
Yeah, man.
Yep.
I'm just building right now.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
building artists. I'm getting to a stage where I don't want to just be in the studio playing beats. I want to be in the studio because my artist is everybody's playing beats for my artist. Right. And that's where I'm creating that space, man. And I think there's a lot coming this year.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah. Well, I'm glad. Don't forget about me, Jay.
Absolutely.
I'm glad we locked in, bro. Like I said, we'll run up another one in a few months. See what's going on with you.
See
what's going on. You know what I mean? And yeah, I still wanted to get Lala, but I think that's kind of.
Oh yeah, she's coming. Lala is a hustler.
Yeah, we had a group chat going.
Yo, Lala is in the studio. Lala's in the studio every single day. Her boyfriend is the music, bro.
Got it.
She do not play. That girl is on her grind. When you do talk to her, you're gonna see like, oh,
when I break down that conversation,
you live and breathe this music. She's serious about it.
Now I seen her catalog. She crazy. Huncho, Dirk, everybody. Yeah,
Dirk,
I seen it.
Huncho?
Billboard, all that. Yeah.
Oh, she's
up. She's up for sure.
She's working on a Gunna album too.
First part one that we had, K. He brought another producer in here, and she, she's the goat. So. Were you? I don't remember. You here? I don't know. Done a lot of this. Was he here? I don't know.
Probably were. Watch. I bet she's gonna say she's in the studio. Watch. She a hustler.
I think DJ was here.
Yeah. Yeah, he was here.
I don't. Done over 100.
Oh, you grinding.
I've done a lot, bro. Like, yeah, I've done over 2 years. I've done over like 80 confirmed. Like, I'm talking about interviews. Like,
yeah.
And then like the ones I've done myself, it's like sure like 100. We done.
Do your thing, brother. Do your thing
for sure. And I keep going for sure.
I appreciate you bringing me on, gang.
Nah, man. Likewise. But yeah, make sure you guys go tap into the part one. Make sure you guys go run that up. Make sure you guys go are subscribed on it, of course. Make sure you guys go grab yourself some merch. Make sure you guys go check out Jayuncut. all across. You know, we're gonna pop up his app. Make sure you guys go check out his music. A lot of stuff on the way. But until then, I'm gonna see you on the next episode for real. All right, okay, press.